Hi, Rich from 2RC Productions here today, and we're doing something a little bit different today. Normally we do the RC stuff, but as I stated before, we do get into different things. We talk about cars. That's another one of my interests. And I'm on location today at my Uncle Jerry's garage, and we're going to talk about his two cars that he has. Hey, Uncle Jerry, what's happening?
Nothing much. How about you?
I just wanted to get some video footage of your two cars because you got two real unique, awesome muscle cars, Mopar classic muscle cars here. And let's talk about the 67 first. What's the story behind this?
Well, I got this in 1967, in April, as a matter of fact. And I was a senior in high school, and I had a full-time job, and my dad told me if I'd like, he'll co-sign for me, and I can get a brand new car. So I was so excited. I said, yeah, I'll do it, yeah. So went to Belzecus Motor Sales on Archer in near California, and I ordered this in April, and it's a 1967 Belvedere 1 two-door sedan. It's a post car. It doesn't have the, it's got a separation between the front and back windows on the sides. It's a cheaper model. They used to call them taxi cab style. It's got the 383 4-barrel, 4-speed, 323 8 3/4 rear end, black body, blue interior, and I didn't order much other than that, but I was so excited when I ordered the car, I forgot to order a radio in it. So it came in radio delete, and I still have the radio delete panel. So I'm going to use that when I show the car when it's completely done. And I'm bringing it right back to the condition it was when it left the factory. I had chrome on it back in the 80s and showed it a lot, and different wheels on it. But once it's all back together, it's going to have the stock Steely wheels with the small hubcaps on it. No chrome under the hood. Basically, like I said, stock original condition. And the engine compartment was painted black. All the suspension was done, brand new, detailed with the proper colors. And right now it's a little dusty and dirty, but that's because I'm doing work on the rest of the body. But it's going to be detailed to the hilt. Not all these factory markings and stuff like that. I don't believe in all that stuff. And as a matter of fact, I don't remember finding any, maybe a few, but it's not going to be a concourse car, but it's going to be well detailed. And I'm really excited about getting it done. And right now it's 2016, June, or end of May rather. And it should be done, painted this year, and hopefully it'll be out on the street next year around summertime, all done.
Yeah, that's an awesome story. Not many people can say that about cars that they had bought in high school and still have it. And he had this car together. There's a shot of it on the wall. There's an old photo from the 80s. He redid it in the 80s and won numerous trophies with this car. And then the car sat for some years, and he decided, now he's retired, he decided to get back into it and do it. And he's doing all the work himself here. He's got a 2.5 car garage here. He does all the work himself, does all the painting himself in his spare time when he wants to work on it, which is a really cool thing. And he will have this car out, and he will be bringing it to the cruise nights and showing it again. But 1967 Plymouth Belvedere 1 383 4-speed car that he ordered new back in 67. So now we're going to get on to the next car here. And this is pretty much the holy grail of Mopars right here. It's a 1970 Plymouth Hemi Cuda 4-speed, numbers matching, all original car. This was a repaint. He repainted it once. Back in, what year did you repaint it, Uncle Jerry?
88, 89.
88, 89. He did this work himself, and you can see the shine on this car still after all them years. And he drives this car. It's not like he's afraid to drive it. You'll see him out all the time, and I've mentioned many times to him about Yeah, he's got all the Mopar Nationals. He's driven in the Mopar Nationals numerous years with this car. It's driven. It's a driven car. And I've asked him on numerous occasions, don't you worry about this car driving on the road with the value of this thing? And his response is, no, it's a car. If something happens, you fix it. He enjoys driving it, which is really, really cool. So give us a background on this one, Uncle Jer.
Well, back in '87, I decided I wanted to get a Hemi E-body, whether it was a Dodge Challenger or the Barracuda. And I subscribed to Hemmings Motor News, and I would look in there every month. And finally, was it spring of '87, I found this. Called the guy, made sure it was an R-code car, asked him all kinds of questions on it, and it sounded like it was a true car that I was looking for. So I flew out to Napa Valley, California, and checked it out, drove it, and I was real satisfied, so I left him a deposit. And once I got home, I wired him the rest of the money, and then I had it shipped here to my house by Intercity Lines. It's a car transport, and it arrived the same way I left it. I saw it in California, and after I received it, I cleaned it up, gave it a buff job, drove it all that summer, showed it a little bit, and then in the fall I started a restoration on it. And it took me 4 years to do it. It's got original interior, original glass, original vinyl top, and all original sheet metal, because I took the whole car apart, stripped all the paint off by hand, liquid strip, and it was an outstanding car, because I was surprised that all the panels were in very, very good condition, no rot at all. The only thing I had to replace was the trunk floor pan. That rotted away due to, I think, leakage around the back window, and nobody ever took care of it. So other than that, it's got original wheels like it was when it was ordered. When I bought it, it had rally wheels on it, and I had the whole car decoded to find out what exactly the car came with from the factory. And it didn't come with rallies, it came with stamped steel wheels. So I located a set with the proper numbers from Mopar Nationals, and other than that, this is the way the car came from the factory, as you see it here.
It's a beautiful, beautiful car. You could probably get the angle of the hood there at the shine on this thing is incredible, especially after all them years. But it's an extremely fun car to drive. I've been in it many times myself with him, and he's got this thing dyno-tuned and dialed in, and you turn the key. A lot of guys have problems. It has dual quads on it and can't get them running, and you go to shows and guys are starting them up and they're smoking and they can't get the carbs right, and this thing, you turn the key and it runs, and he drives it anywhere like any other car. No issues whatsoever. So you can see the detail under the hood. I mean, it is a phenomenal car, and my uncle is very meticulous with his work, his paint work and detail. He's a perfectionist. So when the 67 is done, you could be sure it's going to be all of what you're looking at right here. So just wanted to take the time to showcase his vehicles while we were out here for a visit. And thanks Uncle Jared for explaining the story behind them. And Rich here from 2RC Productions, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Alright, so we're on location at Uncle Jerry's garage here, and all of a sudden I hear this rumbling. I thought a tornado was coming through from the street, and one of his buddies pulls up with a 1970 Dart. 416 stroker motor. It's a small block with 870 horsepower with nitrous. This thing is incredible sounding. You can see how nice the condition is, all set up for racing. So I figured I'd add this into the video. And then he said he'd start it up for us at the end and give us a little sound of the motor too. Look at the tires on this thing. Wheelie bars, look at them fat tires. Awesome looking car.
Came out of Virginia.
Virginia car. So, beautiful car. Those of you who haven't seen a Dart, it's an A body, and the Cuda that we're looking at is an E body. Mopar goes by bodies. And the 67 is a B body, so this is an A body with darts, dusters, demons. So pretty awesome car. Look at that motor. Small block too, putting out that much horsepower. It's very impressive. So it's gonna give us a little shot of the running too.
Some guys are going at 87.